So lift, turning down, I'm pushing up just a little bit mid-corner and be able to get it back down as I'm at holding about 50% throttle. Hi everyone, this is Josh with Finding Speed Now. We're going to be doing a track guide again, and we're going to be doing it on Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. This is a short track. Some preface here, it is very bumpy. So there's a lot of things that you're going to have to watch out for that I'm going to get into here in a bit. So let's go ahead and go and jump into the car and we'll be ready. All right, everyone, we are going to go ahead and get started here. We are here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Nashville Fairgrounds? I guess it's just Nashville Fairgrounds. This track I actually haven't done before, so there's a few things you definitely want to look at. And that, for one, is definitely the bumpiness of the track. We're going to be doing a long run here, long running quotes, because I think this is going to be pretty much a caution fest a lot of the time. Maybe you'll get lucky and get some long runs, but overall I think you're going to end up having to do a lot, probably 8 to 10 cautions per race, especially in the open, the B car. So what we're looking at here is we need to make sure that we are identifying our brake points, our throttle on points, how much throttle we can give, and when we can get to full throttle. Kind of like your corner entry, mid-corner for maintaining that minimum speed, and then your exit speed. So that's about our brake point, a little bit before those dotted lines start. We're going to be getting to about 50% throttle in mid-corner on both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And to make sure we don't trail brake too much like I did there and got a little bit loose. It just is kind of unexpected sometimes with these bumps that we have here. So just have to be very careful getting back on throttle and very careful with our corner entry. And mid-corner, you just don't want to start giving too much throttle too soon, because 50% is really about all you can give to get that like maintenance speed during the corner and be able to get a good solid exit. And honestly, like sliding up like that is not really too bad. You're able to kind of evens out your tire wear a little bit sometimes if you're having to slide up in a little bit in the entry. And it'll get you a little bit more corner exit speed, which is not normal with a lot of like most oval tracks. You don't want to overdrive the entry, but in this track, only because the way that it burns your right rear pretty solidly because of the lack of banking as you get out of the corner and the bumps. It allows you to be able to be a little bit more aggressive entry, but at the same time you have to be careful because you're gonna get sideways pretty easily, like you kind of saw me getting a little bit loose when I was talking about it. One, I wasn't concentrating fully on my racing, and two, it's a little bit easier to do that. So as we're going through this, we want to make sure for the long run we are being very conservative on our throttle application as we're exiting. We don't want to get to full throttle till right now when we're pretty much straight. And we have a bit of trail braking that we're doing. Here it's a bit difficult to kind of judge because you're having to do a bit of spatial awareness, which I don't typically like to do, as you guys know if you've been watching my track guides for a bit. I like to use brake markers because then you can be able to have something definite that you can, change from throughout the course of the race. Obviously it changes as your tires wear, so that's just something I want you to keep in mind. I also wanted to put a shout out to Major's Garage because they're the one that provided the setup for today. I mean, I did pay for it technically, but part of their esports team, and wanted to just put a shout out to them because that's the setups I've been using for the open races, and it's been, you know, pretty good for me. So yeah, go ahead and check out Major's Garage if you guys are interested in some of the open sets. I think they do a good job. Yeah, so from here, what I'm going to do, since we're at about 14 laps that I've done already, I mean, been able to average the last 5 about 19.7 it looks like. It's a decent pace, so it's a little bit slow I think, but been talking to you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do like a fast forward cut, like right about now. Alright, so I just wanted to check back in here. We are just finished lap 37. I was going to do a 40 lap stint and then show you guys what the kind of tire wear is on this. So something I was kind of experimenting with is dropping into third once I was on the straight, like this. Like, it gives you some good acceleration, but in terms of like just consistency, I think it's really difficult to maintain it. And you're probably going to get a bit more rear tire wear because it's almost breaking loose on the straights doing that. So I don't think it's worth it to drop into third gear at all, even though you're pretty low in the RPMs here. But I think that's partially a reason, because otherwise you're going to get real loose very easily, and when you're on braking and doing some trail braking, your engine braking as well in the corners here, it gets you loose pretty easily, because I was kind of experimenting with that off camera a little while ago. It doesn't seem to work very well. But this is lap 40, so we're going to go ahead and do a green flag pit stop now. And to show you where the pit entry is, it's a bit weird. It's on the entry of 3. I'm going to go past it this time. So down here low, you can kind of see the entry there that you need to go. And then you have to cut down into the hole on the wall. So let's see if we can do this good like I did on the last try. I actually did a previous 40 lap stint that I was recording just my face talking to you guys the whole time, so I'm cutting down here. Can maintain a little bit of speed, brake, turn in, and brake before we get a speeding in the pits. That was decent, probably not perfect, but just to give you an example of a green flag pit stop here, and then we'll check out the tire wear. When I did my previous one, I think we're at 88 front right, 85 right rear. And this time, see where we're at. And we are at 88 right front, 87 right rear. So we're a bit better that time in terms of right rear. I mean, 85 isn't really that much of a difference in terms of where we were last time. So, we're going to go ahead and try to do a qualification. I've honestly been struggling pretty hard with the qualification on this because of how bumpy it is here. It's hard to lay down a real fast lap and not wreck and get loose. So you're going to see my best take that I have. It probably won't be the next one that I'm doing. So a bit of cheese. We're going to be warming up those tires, braking and turning at the same time, which is the opposite of what you normally want to do. And for our kind of out lap, we're going to be doing third gear, entering high to get a good exit. And if you watch the delta, you can see how much better the exit is. We're going to stay in third gear for this. Not very clean there, but I think I'll be fine with this exit. Yeah. A little bit of a push up, but that's okay. There we go. There. We're gonna have to evaluate that lap. And that was an 18.8. So it looks like a little bit of a double apex is what you're looking for on the qual lap. Tell you that wasn't my first take right after I just saw you guys. I think it was like my 6th one, so I finally was able to get a good clean second lap, because that first one is definitely not going to be your money lap in terms of time, because your tires just are not warm enough. You need that second lap to be able to get your tires a little bit warm, because they're still not even really up to temperature. So we're in the car here, starting our qualification run. Getting my tires warm here. I'll fast forward a bit. This first lap definitely wasn't the cleanest, because I bumped the wall a few times, but the point of this lap is to really get your tires as warm as you can, so that on your actual qual lap, you're going to be good. So the key is to make sure you're entering high. You don't bump the wall necessarily, but get that good speed exit here. Right, lifting. Right, like it's like a feeling. As much as I like breakpoints, this time it's a feeling, and I see this line coming up to me, and I'm doing it when it's approximately there. It's the best that I can kind of say that that's what I'm doing. And then we're getting into 50% throttle and slowly increasing it. And I was able to get it straight and get full throttle. My lift point is right here. Looks like, see this sponsor sign here, and as you can see, these poles leaving in my view. Your FOV might be slightly different, but again, this is kind of a feel, especially in qualification. And I was not getting all the way down to the yellow. Looks like I was getting my left tires on that seam. So lift, turning down, I'm pushing up just a little bit mid-corner and be able to get it back down as I'm at holding about 50% throttle. And my quarter entry, it's a good early entry. My front left is pointing right about down to where I go. This is where my entry was right here. So if I go forward, you can see now that's my point where I went in. Holding that 50% throttle and exiting. And that ended me with a 18.8. With that, this track is definitely not an easy one. It's very difficult to maintain consistency. It's very hard to qualify on because of the bumps. And that's the main thing, is those bumps are going to be affecting you, and you have to be very careful with your inputs and reacting to those bumps and trying to stay off them if you can. And for the qualification, it looks like you don't want to go all the way down to the yellow line like you typically do on the long run. It makes it basically impossible to maintain your speed because of the bumps. The bumps are just not quite as bad if you go to that first seam that you saw there. So appreciate you guys checking out my track guide. I'm going to be also posting a video about my basically review of the track guide and how I do kind of using my own advice, because that's what I do when I'm racing. And let me know what you guys think of that video. It's coming up here in a few days. So I hope you guys are able to find some speed now.